Guesti may not be playing at Brawl Cup. This comes as a massive surprise as Foot released a statement this afternoon stating that Guesti would be very unlikely to make it for Brawl Cup as a result of invalid documentation. The exact problem is not directly mentioned, but it's safe to assume that this comes as a result of visa or travel documentation problems. Angel Boy and Nob, who have safely made it to Berlin, have called up on Linane to step in Guesti's shoes as an emergency substitution. And although Linane has a wealth of experience on the big stage, it will still be very difficult for him to fill up the shoes left by Guesti and fit himself in a role that has been curated for the last 6 months in the matter of days. The situation has shaken up the entire community. Predictions are being thrown all over the place and uncertainty lingers in the air. When asking Frank, the general manager of Brawl Stars, about how the BSC can prevent reoccurrences like this happening in the future, he replied stating that it was out of their hands and was dependent on the country's visa system. An understandable response, and to be honest, the answer I was expecting when making this emotional post. But it's a massive shame that this happens at almost every LAN. And with superstar Guesti, EMEAs and the world's most promising and highly valued player out of Berlin until further notice, will this destroy Foot's chance at a glimpse of their first Brawl esports silverware? Hello everyone, the short bit is now over and it's time to discuss into the dilemma at hand. I've already talked about what's happened to Guesti, or as far as I know it, and it's honestly a massive sucker punch. And yeah, I'm a humble fan, but I'm a BSC fan. I never want anyone to miss out on competing in any tournament or any monthly final whatsoever, because it's just unfair. They work all this time to get to these big tournaments and then they can't make it. And Guesti is such an important asset to Foot and is arguably becoming one of the best players in the world, and this would have been the perfect opportunity for him to show himself to the world across all the regions and start the debate of Guesti or Tensai. Linane stepping in is a lifeline for Foot, but I'm slightly uncertain with how fast he'll be able to adapt to the Foot style. I mean, no disrespect to him whatsoever. Linane is a great player, but there really isn't a lot of time, and one mistake could result in a lot of hate comments towards him that could really harm his confidence, Foot's chance of winning silverware in the Brawl Cup, and Linane's chance of getting signed once again. I really hope he does well, as I think he can do well, but only time will tell. Best of luck to Foot and best of wishes to Guesti. I really want to see him on the big stage in Berlin. He truly deserves to be there, probably more than anyone else at Berlin right now. He isn't playing day one, so there are still 4 days-ish for him to make it, but if it's a visa problem, it'll be processed or whatever. It's gonna be really tight and really nerve-wracking for a lot of Foot fans. Okay, the sad and quite worrying bit is over. Let's try and spread some positivity here. Scrims have been going on this week and I recommend watching them on a few channels. Before this week, a lot of teams were just taking it quite easy, experimenting some things, getting settings right or whatever, but I think now in the week of Brawl Cup, they're taking it a lot more serious, and I've been watching a few of the games and I can tell hmble are definitely taking it more serious in their draft and approach to games. I think they beat Zeta 9-1 and then they beat CR the other day 10-0, and other teams like Relum and even Tribe have shown some success, but these are also scrim matches at the end of the day, so I'm not too fussed. I just like watching them, and I will stand my ground on saying that the only games that matter are the ones at Brawl Cup. Scrims can give an idea of how well a team are doing, like a general trend, but to me nothing really matters or sticks to me other than the main feature games, which would be like the group stages and then quarterfinals all the way to the grand finals. Those are the games that actually matter. Scrims are kind of just there for the practice, obviously, and sometimes the community can get a little hyped over them. Defending Zeta and CR, I'm pretty sure CR are still jet lagged or at the time of that scrim, so fair enough to them. They've started pulling in some closer games now. And Zeta, they've kind of been on a downfall, but we won't worry about them right now. Either way, anything can happen on the big stage, whether that's nerves, fears, new players on the big stage like bounty hunters, for example, whatever it may be, and literally anything can happen, and probably everything imaginable and even more will happen. So make sure you are watching the Brawl Cup, because this is definitely one you don't want to miss. And speaking of Brawl Cup, the predictions have now opened. I've already done mine, but if you want to know them, if you want to know what I've gone for, I went for Humble to win against Bounty Hunters to beat a 0, and then Humble to win again. And then on the other side, I have Relum beating Zeta, and then both teams beating BC Gaming. Nothing really crazy, but I will say that Zeta have dipped a little bit in performance, but I'm not counting them fully out yet. I don't think they will be grouped, as a lot of people are saying. I think they'll be fine in the group stages. 2 final bits of news left. I have a special predictions video tomorrow. However, and please listen carefully, this video was done 2 weeks ago in advance. When the video releases, you will understand why, because I had to do a lot of editing and a lot of effort into it, and also manage everything else outside of like content, like real life academic stuff. A lot has changed since then, such as Guesti might not be going to Brawl Cup, and scrim games, like there were no proper scrims happening then. It was all just EMEA teams facing each other. Now we have EMEA and East Asia teams facing each other. So the predictions may look a little off and a little outdated. So just take that in mind when you're looking at our predictions. And like I said, anything can happen at Berlin. So I'm preparing myself for the best and the worst, and you guys should be too. Again, this was 2 weeks ago I did the prediction, so no slandering in the comments whatsoever. I mean, you can put stuff in there, but if you're mean or just being stupid or just saying outrageous things, I'm not responding whatsoever. I'll have a debate maybe. I'm not in that silly stuff, okay? And the final point of this video, which saddens me to say, is that I am super busy on Friday. I have a 2-hour lecture at 9, a football match at 12, an assignment due in at 3, and then I have a ball to go to as part of the society's football team. This is like a one-off thing. I don't know why we've been invited, but we have been, and now we have to attend because there's also prize giving as well, so the whole team has to show up. Absolute hoo-ha. That means I will miss a lot of the Brawl Cup. I might be able to see Humble's second game, maybe a bit of only Relum, but that's probably it, to be honest. So I'll be most likely rewatching it in the evening or tomorrow morning. And I was going to do an analysis video every day of Brawl Cup. Not going to happen. I don't have time. I also have another assignment on Monday, so I'm going to be focused on that more. I probably won't be focused on the games too much. Might do a small video just talking, very raw talk about what I thought. Teams that were good, teams that were bad, surprising, what to look forward to, like drafts or whatever. Very basic stuff. And then on the final day, I'm going to try and stream the semi-finals to get my live reaction. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of the plan. Just very busy weekend, and then exams start the following week. So that's just great. That's just great. Either way, I'm going to be there. You are also going to be there, whether you're in my stream, someone else's stream, or just on the main broadcast. Please be there. It's going to be brilliant. And also remember your predictions, because you can get loads of chaos drops, loads of star drops, a hyper chance drop, and you can get some pretty questionable but pretty cool pins and cosmetics. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little synopsis news video, and I'll see you all very soon, Sproutlings. Bye.